Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, and welcome back to Let's Review Manga. Today we are continuing the fan service in Monster Musume Volume 2. So, how long will it be until the first breast shot? The first page, of course! Not kidding, when you open the manga, there is Saria's exposed boobs. So, Mia, Poppy, and Saria are chasing down Kimihito and are yelling about who he will marry. Flashback time! Continuing from the last volume, Kimihito is in shock about needing to marry one of the three girls. It's now night, and Mia comes into Kimihito's room dressed in skimpy PJs and tries to have sex with him right then. And the writers still have no idea that this joke shouldn't happen every hour of the day. Find a new joke, guys. This one isn't working. Poppy then busts into the room and has no underwear on, and has her boobs exposed, tries to mate with Kimihito, and suddenly Saria kicks down the door, stopping Poppy. She then explains that the full moon is causing their animal instincts to come alive, and Saria tries to have sex with Kimihito. So all three are trying to have sex with him at the same time now. Okay. Now the writers are making this a habit of shoving fan service in your face for no reason. Smith then calls when Kimihito gets away to warn him about what is currently happening. Stupid Smith. Thanks for wasting my time. The three girls then tackle Kimihito while he is in front of the fridge, causing ketchup to splash everywhere. This causes the girls to freak out because they think it's blood, but Kimihito says it's ketchup. This causes the girls to go nuts and do something to him all night. The next day, they're all sleeping in the living room, except Kimihito. He then wakes all of them up and is covered in bandages. Kimihito then states that he will date all the girls before he figures out who he will marry. That ends this chapter. All I can say is chill out with the fan service and focus more on the story. The story is garbage, and the fan service makes it even worse. If you don't have a good story, fan service can ruin the anime or manga, especially in anime, because people can't pay attention to both at the same time. With this manga, however, I still can't tell what the story is. Is it just that there are horny monster girls trying to have sex with one guy and are constantly interrupted by each other? What a stupid plot. I mean, come on, at least try to put some effort into it. On to chapter 7. So, Mia wants to be Kimihito's bride so much that she decides to cook, even though she doesn't know jack about cooking. She then has a sex fantasy about her and Kimihito, and ends up burning her hands. The next scene is Mia in her room wondering what to do, and Kimihito discovers, by Mia hitting him in the head with a door, that she is shedding. This is more embarrassing than her being naked for some reason. So that's why she didn't want Kimihito to know the real reason she accidentally burned her hands. Now she can't take off the skin. Mia is really embarrassed, but Kimihito reassures her by explaining Mia's biology to her. Okay, that is the best idea that this manga has had so far. That alone shows that Kimihito cares for her enough to know what she's going through and how she can cope with it. This scene may be good, but what comes next is really bad. So Kimihito says that they need to get the shedding skin off Mia, or she will get a skin condition. So for the next few pages are just Kimihito slowly peeling away Mia's skin and her acting like it's his way of fingering her. They then go for the sensitive area around the vagina, and Kimihito accidentally puts his fingers in. Okay, why is this not a hentai? I asked this in my review of Volume 1. But come on, guys! Try to make your audience not think this. True, an anime like Omamori Himari had a lot of fan service in it, but had a good story, drama, and action. Also, the fan service never got in the way of these moments, and never went too far. Monster of Musume goes way too far. This had to have been a hentai, and with how popular it got, it would have been good. So, Mia thanks Kimihito by cooking for him, but also sorry for breaking his neck in surprise of what happened earlier. So, the food was so bad that she now needs to study cooking, starting with how not to burn water. Wow. That ends Chapter 7. All things put aside that I've said, this is probably the best chapter so far. Thinking about it, this chapter shows how much Kimihito cares for Mia, and what he will do to make her happy. Kimihito isn't a bad character, and the other girls aren't bad either. Just the situations they get put in are bad. They all have their quirks, but the story can explore their minds instead of their bodies. Now on to Chapter 8. This chapter starts with Kimihito teaching Mia how to cook, when all of a sudden, a blob comes out of the pot and jumps into Mia's head, completely covering it in water. We then see Mia is, knocked out? I can't tell. Saria then explains that the creature was a slime, a monster unknown to humans. She then states that she will protect Kimihito while Poppy wants to play Wii the system, not... you know what I mean. So, the slime appears again and slimes Saria, who was powerless to stop it. Kimihito then decides to take a bath, and Saria joins him to protect him. One awkward shower scene later, and the two realize the slime was after water. Not a good time to be in the tub. So Saria faints because I think she sees Kimihito's privates? Or that he saw her full in the nude, or something. The slime then attacks Kimihito, and the slime starts to wash him. Awkwardly, too, I should say. But Kimihito discovers she isn't dangerous right when the slime accidentally absorbs him with her boobs. To escape this, Kimihito jumps into the tub, which gets the girl off of him. Back in the living room, Kimihito, Mia, and Saria talk about the slime and what to do about her when they see the slime and Poppy playing Wii together. This ends Chapter 8. This chapter was just silly. Silly in a good way, though. Yes, fan service is everywhere, but this is just a slime that is trying to communicate and get water at the same time. True, this will lead to awkward situations in the future, but this chapter isn't doing anything bad in any way. Now, what I've seen of the rest of the manga from just skimming, this is only the beginning of the weirdness. On to Chapter 9. This starts off with Sue, the slime which Poppy named, absorbing a bunch of stuff, which leads to her wearing a raincoat. Mia, Saria, and Kimihito then discuss what to do about this illegal immigrant when Poppy flies out of the window with Sue, since the three were talking about the possibility of locking up Sue. Poppy did this in retaliation. The two fly to a river with Kimihito chasing them when Poppy accidentally drops Sue because Sue was afraid of the river. Luckily, Sue is caught by Kimihito in the nick of time. Reason for Sue freaking out is that she could die if she absorbs too much water. Poppy then states she will protect Sue because she didn't do anything wrong. Noble move on her part. Then, on a different note, 6 kids say that they are having a water gun fight and want Poppy to play with them since she does this all the time. The guys spray Poppy and run and allow Poppy to catch them in order to be close to her boobs. Why are kids this age thinking about this? At most, it should just be a water gun fight and nothing more. No perviness or anything. Well, after this, Sue absorbs some water and becomes bigger in certain areas. And she then smothers one kid and sprays the others with a powerful stream of water. They then are chasing each other and having a good time when the 2 creeps Kimihito keeps running into come back and aren't looking where they are going in the car. One of the girls gets in their way and Sue blocks the damage with her body. This creates a problem because Sue is now stuck to the wall, while it crumbles behind her. Poppy grabs Sue because it's right over the river and can't hold on. Poppy drops Sue and Kimihito saves her by moving the creep's truck. Back at the front of the house, Kimihito decides to keep Sue as if she was the daughter of the family, and Smith then sees Sue as Kimihito, Poppy, and Sue enter the house. So, that ends this chapter, with 1 to go. This was a great chapter. Why? Because it establishes relationships without much fan service going on. This is how the entire series should have been. Different monsters interacting with each other and with humans. Not just showing their bodies, but their minds as well. They should all be mentally different as well as physically different, and have different interactions based on the monster. This chapter did that really well. See, this manga can do something right when it cuts out the fan service portion. Now to the final chapter, chapter 10. To start this, Mia, Poppy, and Saria run away to protect Sue because they... what I don't know is why they do this. It just leads to awkwardness which I'll get to later. So the 4 are in the park where they stupidly realize that they will be arrested if they are seen without Kimihito. All of them hide in the bush where Poppy spills water on herself trying to give Sue water. And this leads to awkwardness. Sue then kisses Poppy and proceeds to licking all the water off her, including sucking Poppy's nipples. Sue does this until Poppy comes. We then jump to Kimihito where a girl in a wheelchair crashes into him because of faulty brakes, while he's looking for his monster girls. The girl in the wheelchair is named Marrow, and she knows where Mia, Saria, and Poppy are. Speaking of them, Saria accidentally breaks a faucet and gets water on her butt. So Sue rape time again! Saria goes down as she comes. Don't the writers see that this isn't funny at all? We then find out that subtly, Marrow is being hunted by the men in black that are everywhere. The 2 find Mia and Sue rapes Mia because she is sweating, up until she comes. Writers, stop it! Before Sue can rape Marrow, Kimihito bags Sue in a plastic bag and they all return to their homes. They all thank Smith for making a room for Sue, but in reality, it was for Marrow. Marrow is actually a mermaid, and that ends Volume 2. This chapter was awful. This is what happens when the writers don't care to think. I think the characters are tolerable, and when this happens, where everything is out the window in terms of fanservice, and then this happens where everything goes out of the window in terms of fanservice. Sorry. I hated this in the anime, and it's just as bad in the manga. The one good thing about this chapter is that it introduces the level-headed Mero. Out of all the girls, I think she is the most tolerable, and has the least amount of fanservice toward her. The manga overall is just okay. Lots of fanservice, but also has some of Monster Musume's best moments. The introduction of Sue and the chapter of Poppy protecting her are gold. The writers should have done more with that, and what drags the manga down is the fan service. Take that out, and this manga would only be 1 or 2 chapters long. Next up, we'll be looking at Deers Volume 1. This has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time.